All right, hello, welcome to the London Open session, June 11, 2026. Good morning, don't you, Christian? And let's start right away with the daily chart. So, micro and mini S&P. Yesterday, Wednesday's trading, a bearish day, open near the high of the day, then distribution with a close near the low of the day, taking out the swing low, sets liquidity overnight with this candle here, and ever since repelling back inside the range, approaching the consecutive encroachment of this daily wick. All right, lower low, lower low, lower low, 3 times. All of the buy side is residing here at this moment. All the buy side of this world is residing above this high, right here at this moment, because when we taken this old low here, every stop loss on a short was trimmed above this high on a bigger scale. All right, high, low, higher high, breaker. This is basically a bearish breaker here that we will be trading up into, that we are trading up into currently, and that consecutive encroachment slash 50% of that week, that larger week. Price already made some sort of a turn in here and starts repairing higher, minor obvious buy side liquidity in here. That would be more reliable for this particular session, I would say. 5-minute chart. Yeah, definitely the buy side here, very smooth, very clean. Made a turn. Respected the quadrant and approaching the consecutive encroachment with the potential to run the buy side here. Small little balance price range. 1 minute. Yeah, definitely the buy side here looks interesting. Nice low during Asia. Ever since going higher. Near-term sales liquidity would reside below this low here at 2 a.m. And the buy side on the near-term basis. And we'll see, looks a little bit overextended. MNQ, daily chart, MNQ daily chart. A difference here already. Price failed to take out this low while ES did. So the relative strength on the side of Nasdaq. I'm noting the difference between the Wednesday's close and Thursday's open here, and thinking about it as a potential volume balance type of PD array. Similar idea, the buy side here was taken out. Price failed to reach this inversion fair value gap eventually. So now all of the buy side will reside above this high, and it still has this inversion fair value gap to potentially reach up into. That's interesting. On the near-term basis, buy side liquidity here, relative equal highs. But that's like a very likely draw for London, I assume. But that's like a very near-term draw, nonetheless. Yeah, I mean, as for now, it definitely looks like it wants to go higher, near term at least. This 50-minute CB, and that's also like a good draw on liquidity on the upside. This inefficiency. It respected the daily volume balance here very nicely. Run away, hanging around 5-minute chart. Obvious buy side here. That inefficiency and ultimate buy side up there. SMT on the lows. Okay. 1 minute. Drawn liquidity, yeah. I mean, state that the drawn liquidity should be higher for this session, and I will stick with that. There's nothing really. There's nothing really I like to be short, particularly at this moment. So yeah, this is fair enough, I suppose. So the buy side here, near term, a little bit further advanced this inefficiency. These are the 2 points of interest. Initially, it seems like Nasdaq is a little bit stronger, potentially stronger versus ES, nonetheless, but both are looking relatively similar regardless. All right. So taking into consideration the fact or the analysis of the pre-market and keeping in mind that we have the PPI numbers later today, I arrived at more like bullish stance, bullish bias for the session, but I don't necessarily see this as a very right away type of engagement, because we are already going to be taking an old high on the 1 minute on both MNQ and ES. which, yeah, it doesn't allow me for an entry like that. But if it happens that we see some measure of retracement, some measure of move to the downside, maybe some sells are taken out first, or a measure of it, then that would be more interesting, especially if the buy side here would be still intact, or that higher inefficiency also. All right, so at the open, at the gate, basically taking alt high here. Would I say that it will go lower now? I mean, that's something that I'm trying to like weather out. It's kind of difficult to tell like if it will go lower now. I would personally prefer to see it go lower first, because I'm more bullish. I mean, like I'm having a bullish stance for this session. Therefore, I'm not necessarily interested in selling shorts, right? But at the same time, I don't want to be buying after old high buy side was taken out, right? So if it offers some measure of retracement, if it trades lower, if it even takes this low, that would be something that I would be interested in seeking longs afterwards. But yeah, that's hard to expect. It could just keep on going higher. It could consolidate. It could do a lot of different things here. Good morning, Sonia. Hello. What if it keeps going lower? Yeah, I mean, okay, I see. So if you want to play with me here a little bit, it's fine. So let's imagine that it will drop and keep on going lower, keep on going lower. There will be two potential scenarios. Either it goes lower and it keeps on going and it doesn't offer me an entry at all. It doesn't offer me any entry model or entry idea to engage on, and I just don't do anything. I just miss whatever happens. Or the second scenario, I get my entry pattern, I get my model, and then it keeps on going and stops me out, right? And then it keeps on going. In that case, I was just wrong about the bias. I was just wrong about the drawn liquidity. And in that regard, I mean, there is nothing I can do about, I mean, to prevent that from happening from time to time, right? So if I'm just wrong, I'm just wrong. Okay, I will lose then. But yeah. Other than that, I'm sticking to my initial idea. So well, buy side was taken out, hold high, and now price is nicely moving lower. I like to see that, to be honest, right? I like to see that. If I'm bullish, I like to see that, because if it kept on going, it would have been very, very hard for me to engage it with any proper low risk entry. But if it can drop some lower, that's more promising that it will offer something. Not that I mean, it's not that it will do it for sure. It's not that it will be an very easy type of trade still, but at least it does a little bit of that retracement. So yeah, I'm watching this fair value gap here at 306. That's a bearish fair value gap that at some point could become a potential bullish inversion. All right, so this is my like near-term draw for the session here. Around 58 handles. Yeah, with stop loss around 20 handles. That will be, or could be, quite engageable in a sense. All right, so we closed above it very nicely here. I like to see that right away. It seems potentially strong because of that. Let me clone this inversion for value gap quickly, and let me add it one standard deviation to the downside. It's roughly here. So the stop loss would be that, and like one tick below 7, something like this. All right, the risk is fine, this is fine. All right, so sticking to the idea, or with the idea that this is the draw, the near-term draw on the upside. I like the fact that we couldn't offer any bearishness on these two bearish fair value gaps potentially. Inverse them, closing above both of them, not only one, but both of them. So now if we can come back into it, that's a bullish inversion fair value gap for me. That should send price towards the buy side liquidity here. If I'm wrong, obviously, but that's some sort of the idea that I have behind it. So let's see. I'm in, and now it's the showtime. All right, so I can measure the hypothetical break-even price, which is 75% of this position. All right, yeah, I mean that is not looking very well here. There we go. So that was a quick one nonetheless. But yeah, fair enough. If I made a mistake and I get stopped out, that's live. Nonetheless, I will be still interested in watching whether price will go up there or not, because that's still the fact that it stopped me out here doesn't necessarily change the fact that it should be drawing up into it. It's more like an operator error on my part then, rather than anything else, really. I will take the label off because it clutters the chart a little bit. But yeah, price went for the short-term low here. Sell side was below it. Attacked that, repelled quickly higher. So if it can reclaim this bullish inversion for value gap, then the expectation stays basically the same as it was originally, with the bonus that we had the stop hunt here. But let's see if that will be the case, or it just goes lower and lower, and yep. So yeah, the idea is, or how I see it, that this was just a stop run here on this low, and it should just deliver now higher. This is the drop potentially. If that's the case, then it is what it is, right? But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Obviously, a little annoying if that was just the stop run that got me out on the low or very close to it, and then goes. Was I too tight with it? Maybe, and probably then. But yeah, it is what it is. So yeah, it's hitting, or that would hit the break-even price here. Take profit was slightly higher. Well done, Sonia. Then, well done. Perfect relative equal highs in here. Again, this inversion fair value gap, this bullish inversion fair value gap in here needs to be strongly respected now, okay? Price made a stop run here, rejected that aggressively. I would not like to see it go below this low, but by any means. It should be just screaming higher towards the buy side here, and potentially even some above. Potentially even some above. That would be like the idea. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, apparently the mastermind idea in engaging this would be to wait the first retracement into the inversion, wait it out to see whether it will respect it well or not. This the candle here right away closes below it, so that suggests likely a run on the sell side. Turtle soup, come back, used it as inversion then, and expect higher prices or in line with the initial expectation. So yeah, small little inconvenience, small little mistake on my part. Maybe trying to be a little bit too tight and too precise with the stop loss. Could that work? Yeah, probably, sure. But in that regard, with a potential stop hunt, I was just not gonna stand that, withstand that. So yeah. So this was the original take profit for the position. I can now watch and study whether it would be or would have been engaged, and whether that would have been, because it will not be, but whether that could have been a winning trade in here. So yeah, I mean, definitely quite a decent potential, nonetheless. Working higher towards the higher draw, I like to see that. That's in line with my expectations. But yeah, operator error in here made me blunder this this bullet like this, apparently. But yeah, that's good. That's good. Mistakes like this gotta be made, so I can eventually start learning from them. All right, so there you go. So yeah, that would basically be my feel on the take profit here, and I would be done with the position. However, or it could still be drawing up higher into this level, but I'll be done right there. But obviously, I entered this inversion for Y gap high, got stopped out with that stop run, and I'll be take profit. All right. Well, Sonia, you outplayed me. You outplayed me so well. So well. But yeah, well done, nonetheless, well done. Whoever took similar idea or used that as a draw, kudos to you. I mean, it's all on you, after all. And yeah, I don't want to say unlucky. I don't think that was unlucky. Thinking that this was unlucky would be a little bit not fair. I made a mistake. Definitely, I made a mistake. I overlooked the possibility that we could see a stop run here, especially that there was really no stop hunt for a long time. So yeah, that was there was a possibility of that happening, but it is what it is. By the way, let's update the counter. I forgot. 12 loss. Brutal 12 loss. 8 win, 1 break even. But yeah, this type of trades. By the way, it moved perfectly to the draw that I was looking for. That's amazing. This type of trades or situations are like giving a little bit of mixed feelings, right? Because technically the bias was very good. The draw liquidity was correct. We can already see that price delivered there. And the entry idea, even it wasn't bad, like too bad, right? The fact that it made this one additional stop hunt here, yeah, sometimes that's going to happen, right? In the case when I have only one bullet a day, I have no possibility of re-entering that trade, right? But if I had one more chance or one more possibility to engage a setup after a situation like this, after a stop hunt like this, then there wouldn't be any problem for me to like get stopped out. All right, it pulled back into this, re-enter, stop loss below the recent stop hunt. If it would stop me again, I'm definitely wrong. If not, then it should go. In this case, it would deliver. That's a rule that I might add at some point. I don't want to add it too early because it may cause to it may lead to like poor navigation, thinking that I always have a second chance. But yeah, that's like an idea for improvement, to maybe not avoid these type of situations, because you will never be able to avoid them completely, but at least give you a mechanism to work around it, right? And potentially mitigate the damage that was done by a trade like this. Yeah, that's kind of like the idea behind it. But nonetheless, nice delivery higher here. Let me check the MES. On MES, I was looking for this level as a draw, so A higher one still has plenty of room to go. So that might be still interesting on the upside. Yes, left relatively close here, perfect. One's a little bit suspect, but yeah, Nasdaq was definitely a cleaner play for this particular setup here. So well. So yeah, I mean, tomorrow will be my last chance for this week to recuperate a little bit and finish somewhat strong. I already took one W on Monday, then one loss on Tuesday, then break even yesterday, and today I got stopped like this. Yeah, both today and Tuesday I was correct about the bias and the draw, but got stopped out inside the process of taking the entry, and my stop loss was just too tight by a little bit. Very similar cases though, not exactly the same, but very similar, where my stop loss was just a little bit too tight. And yeah. Yeah, I see, and that certainly can allow you for a larger stop loss, which is, I mean, there is nothing wrong about that particularly. The point with me in here is that I'm trying to reduce it or keep it just as small as I technically can keep it, according to the rules of engaging with a fair value gap, to allow me easier time hitting the 1 to 2 risk to reward type of ideas. But yeah, there are some scenarios like today, like on Tuesday, where the 1 minute can see a little bit more wiggle around it, which we've seen. And as I say, this example that doesn't like that's not a proof for the model not working. That's completely the opposite. The model worked perfectly, but it just had this one more stop hunt here, which can always be the case. It can always be the case. And in this regard, it took me out and screamed the other direction, exactly to the draw, and even higher. So I consider this idea as still very good. I consider this area of entering still very good. Everything I consider very decent about this trade and idea, and the fact that it stopped me out, yeah, happens, right? Life. That's life. Would you go on tilt because of that? But by the way, sorry, money glitch. I did not notice. Breaker would be good in silver bullet. Yes, it would. Yeah, can you use? Yeah, sure, you can, right? I mean, I particularly like the fair value gap to use as my model, right? So that's what I do, and that's how I do it, right? Is this the only way? Sure not. Sure not. Sure you could use breakers. Sure you could use order blocks. You could do OTs, like plethora of different things. Whatever you like, right? I like engaging with Fervali gaps. I like using them for the means of entry, and I just like that. I just really like that. But yeah, breakers work too, for sure. I mean, I'm trying my best, but yeah, I mean, it's not even about that. If you think about it, if you think about it, this is, I mean, approaching the market like this is like, I don't want to say the only consistent way on doing this, but like the easiest one that's very consistent way of doing this. Because yeah, I mean, I saw or I see a lot of people getting involved in a situation like this, and they go on tilt. They try to chase the price afterwards or do whatever like silly things, which eventually leads to a blown account, to pain, emotional damage, like a lot of different bad things for you and your psyche and your account after all too, because it will suffer. uh, so yeah, I mean, this is just my way of approaching this, and that's it. I'm trying to be as reasonable and professionally minded and oriented as I can. Even if I'm losing, I'm 8 wins, 12 losses, and sitting like this for days now. Like I have not been like break even on the counter since weeks. And so what? So what, right? I'm still technically up on the balance. Like after today, it will be a little bit less than it shows, but still, I'll be up, and yeah, I can engage tomorrow, and then I can engage the next week, and stuff like this. So I'm approaching this very long term. Um, Breaker have very high win rate if you compare to Fervali Gap. I mean, would you say so? I mean, Breaker, if you can frame a right for value gap, then I believe it should have a very similar win rate too. But yeah, if that's the study you made, then that is very good. Yeah, it definitely depends. I mean, from my experience, I don't think that there is like any like certain advantage in using one PDA or another, besides the fact that not every price swing will have that particular PDA, right? But yeah, overall and after all, they, if you can frame a proper one in proper context, in proper narrative, then they are technically equal. But yeah, that's just my opinion. Well. Well, curious to see the PPI later today, what it will offer. But near term, I think like the buy side makes a lot of sense still. I don't necessarily think we are done on reaching higher. Nasdaq reaching up into this SIBI would be still reasonable draw. There is this area on the 1 minute that's still inefficient, particularly, especially this here. Only downside, and it's lacking the delivery there. So yeah, I'll still favor higher, not less, but for this series, I'm done for the day. Whatever happens. I'll review it for sure. But yeah, the main goal is to follow the rules and just execute the model if it's there. If it's not, try to avoid it and repeat that every single day, regardless of the outcome. So indifference is like the key characteristic of the series. Being indifferent to the outcome, but following the logic, a certain logic that works, that it's proven, and yeah, eventually these type of things can be fixed. I feel like the dollar index is preparing to make an attempt to rally on the or towards the old high. So PPI and dollar index out at least expect it to reach up there. That would be my idea, my bias for it. So that might be interesting. Strong dollar may put some pressure on indices, but yeah. Not very concerned with the downside at this moment. I like the relative equal highs that they are placing here. This will be a sweet level or sweet area to run that out, and also that would be a great area for a potential offset distribution. So for example, if you were long from here or here or here and you were looking for a very nice exit during this long open session still, if price could go and rally above those relative equal highs here one more time, then that would be like a perfect counterparty for exiting on shorts. I mean, on longs. I'm sorry, on longs. Sure, you can ask. Sure, I'm 28 at the moment. Thanks, Sonia. Thanks. I still want to think that, but I see that the numbers are approaching. I'm 30 years older than you. I mean, well, I didn't expect it that, to be honest, but that's respectable. That's very respectable. I see. I mean, that's very cool though. That's very cool though. That you are showing up still and trading. Like that's amazing. That's really amazing. Oh wow. Well, so you are trading like for a very long time. So you are probably trading longer than me. Lol. Like for real. For real. I've been born in 1998. Well, that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's great. I mean, I like the story. I like the story behind it. That's awesome. I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I see your sense of humor there. So that's awesome. That's really awesome. Well. Looks like Nasdaq is preparing to make that higher high that run on those radical highs, and that would be really a very nice offset distribution here. Yeah, I mean Sonia is a pro. Not gonna lie. Very respectable. Very respectable. Well, I see. I mean, but still, still, the fact uh, that you like that because I mean I have that sense that feeling that you just like trading, like watching charts and stuff. You gotta like it to show up every day. I feel like there is no other way. If you don't like it, you will eventually start missing days and yeah, that will be an issue if you want to be a pro. But if you have the love for the game, then you will keep showing up. And I see. I respect it a lot, nonetheless. Yes, and that's what I like about our small little community in here that is showing up almost every day. That I feel like we all just love the game and we just want to improve. We just want to grow as traders and as people to overcome our fears, our flaws, and stuff like this, and yeah, that's very encouraging to be the leader of the horde, or at least trying to be one. But yeah, nice story. Yeah, I mean they are really preparing a very nice uh, exit liquidity here for any longs from earlier, I feel like. And after running those relative equal highs in here, that would be like a key point, key area for the price to really like show its hand. Because if it smashes right on through this relative equal highs with large displacement, then it should just keep on going and keep stretching higher, and the CB here would be the next draw on liquidity. But if it's just like a stabby run, a shallow run, or quick rejection afterwards, then that will be problematic near term. Not impossible for the upside still, but less favorable, for sure. But yeah, I guess that's going to be it for this session, unless yeah, a little bitter one to swallow, obviously, but nonetheless, everything is very, very good. The draw was correct. The idea wasn't bad. The fact that it made this stop run, that live, and I will just accept that. So because I traded already, I will not be there anymore today, but I will be back tomorrow for the London Open session, and we'll see what we'll get there. So thanks for watching today and staying with me. Kudos to you guys, and I wish you a pleasant reminder of the day. Thanks.